We've heard stories of people escaping death by being late. What are some tragic examples of people dying because they were late? 1. Common scenario in high-altitude mountaineering. You preset a time where you have to turn around no matter what, but people run into delays and then the summit is this close and they don't stick to the plan. And then they're out at night and temperatures drop and oxygen runs out. 2. My aunt missed her flight out of Denver on July 1989. She took United Flight 232 instead, dying in a fiery crash in Sioux City, Iowa. 3. My mother neglected her medical issues and ended up in the hospital. On a Friday they said she was ready for discharge but she pleaded for a little more time because she was getting medical care and meals. Basically she didn't want to leave. They said okay, we will discharge you first thing Monday morning. At 5 a.m. on Monday she developed sepsis from a UTI due to her prolonged use of a catheter and didn't make it. 4. I will never forget the video of the tsunami in Japan. 2 cars were driving away from the oncoming wave. The car in front was stopping at all the stop signs. The car behind waited for the car in front. Both cars were caught, and the drivers clearly were killed horribly by the tsunami wave. If they had just broken the law and sped away, they would have likely survived. 5. My dad had a heart attack and waited 6 days to call an ambulance. When he was hospitalized we found out later it had caused half his heart tissue to die. He died the day after Father's Day 2021 and according to the nurses he was in a good mood speaking to them when he passed mid-sentence. He'd been terrified of passing on Father's Day itself as his father had died a couple of years ago on that day. I still have mixed emotions about it because he thought himself too tough to accept medical help and knew what the symptoms of a heart attack were because his mother had heart issues. I know that heart attack symptoms present different in men and women. He was a difficult patient when he had other medical issues but when he was in the hospital that time he was gentle as a lamb and very patient with the nurses and doctors. I thought it was eerie at the time but I think he knew what damage he'd caused himself and realized what was coming. 6. Japan Airlines Flight 123. The crash was found very quick but the response was delayed from a report believing no survivors. Some were found to have survived, but died waiting for help. Of 524 people, only 4 survived. Pretty brutal story from the survivors too. 7. The 304 victims of the Sewol ferry that died because the adults and people in power were late in making decisions/responding. The message for passengers to evacuate came late so passengers were trapped in the ship. The approval for emergency response came late so the rescue operations came late. I cannot look at pictures of the rows of neatly arranged wreaths representing each high school student that died, around 250, without feeling the need to bawl. What's worse is that the captain and most of the crew were able to escape, only 3 crew members tried to help the passengers and died.